Welcome to the Rainbow Gateway Oracle. Virgo, this is a reading for all signs, sun, moon, rising, heavy sixth house, all placements. Thank you for coming to the reading. We are a psychic tarot reader. There is a friend here named Timothy. And Timothy, there's a message in this reading for you. Don't click off yet. But I'm going to continue with the intro. I'm a psychic reader. I'm a astrologer of Western tropical astrology. I'm also someone who has studied Chinese medicine and acupuncture. I have a master's degree, but I've studied to the level of PhD, and I just have not, paid the money to go to finish the program. I have 2 semesters left till a doctoral degree, and I will eventually snag that, but that's another 15 grand on top of my $246,000 student loan. And that's how I got through school, was lived off student loans and the breadcrumbs of the student loans in order to be able to finish the program. During that time, I also did yoga. And I did yoga 3 to 5 days a week. And that's expensive, but what I did was I did work trade for the yoga studio. I did something called seva. And basically, I would just wash mats and blankets. And I put in, about 8 hours of work at the studio every month. And I got unlimited classes. Where there's a will, there's a way. And that's a message for someone here. Where there's a will, there's a way. Okay? And student loan payments, we always have bills, we always have payments, and eventually the student loan things are going to be turned around within the government things. There's going to be a lot more student loan forgiveness coming up. We're not there yet politically, but it will happen. We have wood sheep here. Nature is your healer, number 32. And so we have the Chinese 5-element. We have the visionary I Ching. We have fortune cookies and just the old Rider-Waite tarot deck, okay? So let's pull some cards here and get more into the reading. I am a psychic channeler. I have access to the Cosmic Intelligence Agency and the Akashic Record. We have oppression coming out. I can do readings with or without cards, but what I offer are tarot readings, and we do both, okay? And let's get some other cards out. I have subscriptions upcoming. You can learn about them in the description box. Once the website is complete, we'll go live with those. Readings are available now. Feel free to email us with your inquiries, and we will hook you up. Readings are available now, but once we have our subscriptions going, we won't be offering private readings unless you are a subscriber. But right now, we'll hook you up without being a subscriber, and that's the way we're going to work it. We have King of Swords wanting to come out here. 4 of Wands. 8 of Cups. We're going to get another one of these 5-element cards. Chinese medicine is all about your nervous system, really. It helps you to balance all of the frequencies in your body, because how do your organs function? Well, they function because of your nervous system, and they function with electricity. Okay, your body's energetic system is the nervous system. And the organs and everything at a cellular level, there's chemical messengers, there's electrical signals, and the neurons firing over the synaptic clefts and such. It's all electricity. It's all electricity, okay? Metal sheep, foresight and careful planning, number 8. Now, the universe is saying to go ahead and read this metal sheep. We won't read the whole thing, just the little bits. The metal sheep pillar supports strategic thinking and careful planning. And that's what you need to see here, strategic thinking and careful planning. Yin metal's detached nature enables us to make decisions without bias, okay? You want to make an objective decision, not subjective, okay? You need to take the overview of things. You need to find the facts and not the beliefs. Beliefs can be false, okay? Facts, on the other hand, have already been seen to be true, okay? The calm and peaceful sheep is a yin earth sign associated with Mother Earth. The sheep helps us reach our goals through sheer persistence. Slow and steady, the sheep's earth element enhances metal's sharp intelligence. This card is a message from the divine to be meticulous with your planning and strategic, yet considerate in your action. Know that you already possess the most powerful tool, and that's your mind. Free the mind from the baggage of worries, expectations, self-imposed limitations, and beliefs. Gather your resources and take stock of your strengths, experiences, and lessons learned. How can they contribute to your growth? Take your time. You're on the right track, but you need to get clear with your visions before you make the next move. Pay attention to the small details, but focus on the long-term vision. And that's what we want to read here. Take your time. You're on the right track, but you need to get clear with your visions before you make the next move. Pay attention to the small details, but focus on the long-term vision, okay? You go one step at a time, all right? But when you have the whole plan, then you know how to play, okay? We have property coming out here with the fortune cookies. A property purchase or sale for many, but heed security concerns in any transaction. Now, let's get some more Rider-Waite out here, and then we'll get into the rest of the cards and everything. Ten of Swords, right underneath oppression. Four of Pentacles with the King of Swords. Ten of Wands under the Four of Wands, and the Devil under the Eight of Cups. We have the Page of Swords on the bottom of the deck. And we want to read oppression. Now, there's just some messages in these. We don't always read the books, but sometimes we do. Okay, lake above, water below. One image of oppression is a dried up lake bed with scavenger crows stalking the shoreline. Hard times can shrivel our spirits and give rise to multitude of crows in the form of troublesome worries. Times of great loss or personal failure can break some people, but the strong of heart are able to bend with their fate. To endure hard times or even benefit from them, you're called upon to tap the deepest stratum of your identity, which is stronger than fate and incorruptible by even the harshest realities. During hard times, it is especially essential to tap that wellspring of human endurance, hope, okay? The universe wants to offer you hope in your situation here. It's not something that's unfixable, okay? What I'm hearing is that you're really going through it and everything seems to be against you, okay? And you're going through a death process and it hurts. Ten of Swords is ego death And it's killing the old version of you, okay? It's killing the false version of you. It's killing a part of you that was inexperienced, immature, uneducated. And that's not your fault. That's just life, okay? As we move through a process of growth and development, we gain more wisdom, we gain more experience as we go. And sometimes we have to embody shadow energies, which help us to survive and are extremely important in our life when we develop them, because we have to develop shadow energies at times in order to survive. It's what keeps us alive, okay? But sometimes these shadow energies become stifling, okay? And when we develop them, it helps us to survive the environment that we're in. But when we get out of that environment, then those shadow energies become inhibitive of us because we're not in the same kind of environment. And so now we have to adapt to the new environment. And the new environment is more hospitable, but we're still behaving as if we're in an inhospitable environment. So we have to shift our dysfunctional behavioral patterns. And the reason we develop dysfunctional behavioral patterns is so that we can survive a dysfunctional environment. And once we're not in a dysfunctional environment anymore, then we have to develop more functional patterns of behavior. And that comes from, seeing the higher truth, okay? You need to step into an Aquarian view. And that's what I want to say. You need the outer space view, the bird's eye view. You need the objective view. And that's coming through again. You need more objectivity here, more facts, and more of an idea of it is what it is. The universe wants to help you come into a state of more acceptance of things in your life. It's not easy to face the truth, okay? And the truth can be sharp and cutting, but what it really does is slays the fear in our mind. It slays the devil voice in our head. And everyone has likely seen the Looney Tunes cartoons with the devil and the angel on each of our shoulders. We have this type of a voice in our head, and we have to be able to cut through the bullshit that goes on in our mind, because sometimes people planted bad seeds, okay? And that's what I'm getting. I'm getting that there's a lot of bad seeds that were planted in your energy field over time, okay? And you might feel like you've gotten on top of a couple of the things that weren't the best in your life, like you conquered a couple of things, but there's something that's heavy, and it's kind of like weighing you down. And you're looking at one thing, but then there's still something that's like over your head. You're not getting it yet. And that's why you need that Aquarian view. You need to take a little bit of a step up higher so you can see both of these issues, not just this one. Okay? There's this thing that you're holding on to here, and you're not seeing this other thing. You need to see both. You need to see both issues. And I feel like because there's an energy of real heavy, there's some toxic patterns here, all right? And that's really what it is. There's some toxic patterns here. There's walking away from it. There's moving through it. There's healing with it. But there's still some things that are unseen. So that's where you do shadow work in life. And the universe helps you. And what you really need to do is just ask the universe to help you with it. And then what they do is they create something called a setup in your life. And the universe creates experiences for us to help us learn and grow and evolve. And when we see every experience in life as something we can learn from, even if it doesn't go the way we think it should, even if it ends up a catastrophe, what can you learn from it? Even if you learn what not to do in life, It's a good gift for you. It's a lesson. Sometimes you have to see what not to do, so then you know what to do, because no one ever taught you properly in life. And having a lot of resistance to change isn't a problem, okay? Just notice when you feel resistance and start taking deep breaths. When you feel resistance, when you feel like you're in suffering, when you feel like your head is spinning around, or that you're dying inside, or that you can't yet see the higher truth, just know it will come, okay? It will come. We have nature as your healer. I was tuning into the flowers all around. It's important for you to get outdoors when you can, to surround yourself with beauty. And the more you spend time in the natural environment, the more perspective and the more you'll see the foresight. You'll see better, okay? Clear your head in the nature. Now, with this property here, someone has concerns over something they recently purchased, okay? And it's not for everyone. But don't worry about the security at the property right now. There's other things you need to handle. No one's going to break into it. Just take care of what you need to, and then you can come back around to dealing with the security things that are coming up for you. You'll be safe where you're at. And that's for someone who's overly concerned with the security of their home. And it has to do with the side hustle, okay? There's a side hustle at the property, and there's security concerns because of the hustle. Just do the hustle right now, and then get back to the things that would secure it better, like a dog or a particular type of a security door. That's what I'm getting here. You don't have time to train a dog. That would really be the best thing for your side hustle thing with your property. But you don't have time to train a dog, and you want to make sure that you're willing to care for the dog in the way that it needs. Having a dog is like having a kid. You know, not entirely, but you get what I'm saying. You have to take care of it, feed it, understand what do you do when you go on vacation. You know, you can't just up and leave so easily, but it would be the best thing for your security concerns. The next best thing would just be to have a particular type of a security door, and don't worry about the cops. And that's what's coming through for someone here. That's not for everyone in the reading, though, okay? Now, with the Eight of Cups here and the Devil, you're wanting to walk away from a really fucked up sexual relationship. And this is a little bit for a different individual. Sometimes the readings are a little bit fragmented. Sometimes they flow all the way through. We have several different people watching, and so there's a little bit for everyone sometimes. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind, okay? This is for someone that's needing to get out of a really toxic sexual relationship. You already know it. You already know it, okay? The universe is confirming it. Get out of there, all right? Just cut it off. You don't have to say a word about it. Just get out, never call, block. You don't have to worry about anybody following you or anything like that. Just block them and never go back. That's all you got to do. Block them and never go back. And then, of course, you're going to go through your emotional transformation after leaving this behind. But don't ever go back, okay? Because what they're going to do is keep doing the same thing to you. And you don't want to do that. It'll escalate, okay? It'll escalate. This is someone who's a real sadist sexually, and someone who's not wanting to engage in that type of sex, okay? And with the Page of Swords here, I want you to know that this is coming through to let this individual know that they're watching you in ways that you're not aware, okay? And you don't have to move or anything like that in life, but you need to cut them out because they're seeing things about you to do to you in the future, okay? They're studying you and they're studying how to hurt you, okay? And that's what you don't want someone to do in your life is study how to hurt you. Don't give them access to you. Just leave them behind. You don't have to say one word. Don't even send an emoji. Just block them and you know, go find a therapist to talk to if you need to. Cognitive therapy, get a massage therapist. Somatic body work is wonderful, you know. It gives you physical touch and love to yourself when you don't have someone to cuddle with. And you have to watch out for these sadistic people out there because what they do is they cuddle you up, okay? And they give you this affection inside that you never had before maybe in life. And then they get all the oxytocin going, and that gets your attachment issues, you know. It gets you attached to them. And then once you get real attached, they manipulate you and hurt you and take away all the things that they gave you in the first place. So they get you hooked, and then they take it away. And they do it over and over again, and it's really sick. And there's also particular sex acts that you don't want to be engaging in, and they're disrespecting you and degrading you in it, and they are. And you feel that it's hard to admit out loud, and it's what's needed here. Do yourself a favor. There's another partner on the horizon, but you have to do the hard work in cutting this one off first before they come, okay? Find yourself a really good massage therapist, and that'll help you get through until the next partner comes. You're not a person who likes to be alone and you have a hard time being alone, and you're someone who needs a lot of sex, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you need to find a better partner who's going to be kind to you, okay? We don't have to have perfect relationships, but we at least need to find people who aren't blatantly sadistic, and this person is. And they're real under the radar about it, okay? They're real under the radar about it, but you feel it. You feel it already like it's a red flag to you. Listen to the red flag and don't test it, okay? Don't test the red flags. Find the green one, okay? And they're watching you in order to try to hurt you. So they're studying you. So they may be seeming to take an active interest in your life, but what they want to do is find the chinks in your armor so they can find your weak spots and get you, okay? And the sun is here also. You're not going to have a bad time. Just let them go, okay? This is like the future of you letting them go. And the sun is the happiest card in the deck, okay? So you just have to go through the releasing, the detaching. Of course, there's grieving in it because you have to feel and all that, but you will be stepping into a happier place inside once you get over that hump, if you will, okay? The Ace of Cups, there will be a loving friend that comes to you, and it's also going to increase your intuitive ability when you let this go. You'll get a little bit of a gift from the universe to have a stronger intuition, and that'll help you discern better at the beginning these types of people, because there's a lot of these types of people out there, but there's always signs and symptoms right away of those types of people. Sadists have a particular pattern, and when you're in tune with your intuitive self, when you're in tune with your heart self, they can't get you, okay? Because you see them right away. You see them a mile away. The more you open up and trust yourself, you see them a mile away, okay? But when we don't maybe have the best boundaries in life, we are disarmed by what they do, okay? And that's the thing, is to practice having better boundaries for yourself and speaking up. There are a lot of people on the planet, and if one doesn't fit for you in the best way right away, don't stick around and try to make it fit, okay? You can't put the square into the round. You just can't. It doesn't go there. And, you know, Five of Swords is popping out. They play mind games, okay? They play mind games, and they want to make sure that you feel like shit, and that's what they do. But the universe is saying, you're going to move from the 5 to the 6 and find a better headspace, all right? And then you're also going to bring in a better individual to create your life with, okay? This person isn't the one for you. All right, now, moving right along here, we're going to pull another one of these 5 elements. Firebird. Seek and you shall find, okay? The universe wants you to focus inward and find your inner child self, okay? And I'm getting an energy like really tap into your inner child self. And like a small child would pretend and yell cock-a-doodle-doo and play and be silly and absurd and stuff like that. There's a few messages in this card. One, okay. One, you need to find your inner child self because that's going to give you the ability to overcome this really heavy energy, okay? It's going to help you find the finishing line and the partner that fits for you for all of time, okay? And what I'm getting here is this partner potentially has a big dick or something like that. And you'll find peace of mind if you let it go, okay? That's all I'm going to say, all right? You'll find another well-endowed individual, okay? Be gentle with yourself as you're moving through this process and tap into your intuition, all right? It's time for change. We have 50 here. Number 5 is coming through as change today, and it's time for you to change the way you are with yourself. You need to be more gentle with yourself, and you need to take more time to clear your energy field. All right, water is really good for you, and also getting in nature. So swimming, showering, Epsom salts baths, and going for hikes and stuff like that, spending time near water. You need to be gentle with yourself, okay? This person's really rough with you, and there's a part of you that's really rough with yourself on the inside of your own head, okay? And that's the thing that you need to see is you need to change your mindset, and it's really a lot of work to do that. The ox works hard, but the ox is very steadfast and just plods along, okay? It's like one step at a time, one moment at a time, one breath at a time, okay? And that's what you need to remember, one breath at a time. And that's what we have for you here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. We care about your feelings, and we know this is difficult stuff, all right? And the best thing you can do is find yourself maybe some essential oils that can help you with the emotional stuff. Rose Absolute is very good, and you can find that at Eden Organics, and there are other essential oil companies, but we like Eden Organics. And also, geranium is a very good one for when you're hurting inside. It's a good essential oil. All you need to do is put a drop of oil in your hand and rub it together, and then take 5 to 7 really deep inhalations with it. You can get those diffusers and all that. Go with your preferences, but that's the thing to do. You just put a drop in your hand and inhale it. It helps to soothe the emotions after you've been crying, angry, whatever. It really helps your heart, and it regulates your nervous system because of the chemical constituents. Now, understanding the nervous system, we have to see that there's 12 cranial nerves. Now, 2 of the cranial nerves are wired directly to your cerebrum, and the other 10 cranial nerves go through the brainstem. Now, you have the olfactory nerve, which is your sense of smell, and the optic nerve, which is the visual cortex. Those 2 go directly to your cerebrum. They're the most primal instincts we have, okay? The other nerves go through the brainstem, and it's a little bit more indirectly wired. If you understand electricity and stuff like that, think of the nervous system, and think of the nerves and all that themselves are similar to electrical wires, conduits, and stuff like that, but we have, bioelectrical human bodies and stuff like that. And that's how energy affects us. That's how the astrology affects us. That's how the transits affect us, is it connects to our nervous systems with our birth charts and stuff like that. And electricity and activation and stuff like that. This is just for someone here that's interested in that. But it's recognizing that inhaling those essential oils, it speaks to our brains directly, okay? And the chemical constituents work with the nervous system, work with the chemical messengers in the body to help regulate the nervous system, and that taps into the limbic system, which is your emotional system in the brain. And it's very complicated, really, but we do our best to sort of simplify complexity here and also complicate simple things at times. The Ten of Swords is wanting to say one more thing. This process that you're moving through is divine, even when it seems like there's toxic stuff going on. We're releasing the toxicity. It doesn't make us bad. You don't have to judge yourself for having toxic things in your life. It's helping you detach from what's toxic. It's helping you release the poison from your mind that was put there. Okay, you didn't put it there. You didn't put the poison there, but you're responsible for letting it go. Okay, you didn't put it there, but you're responsible for letting it go. And then when you do that, you break these chains, all right? Break those chains, and stand up tall and cock-a-doodle-doo, all right? The rooster is very proud, okay? And the rooster wants you to know that there is way more, beyond what you can see, all right? There's way more beyond what you can see with your finite human mind. And that's the thing. You're only seeing subjectively. You're only seeing your own knowledge. You're only seeing your own experience. There are 7.888 billion people on the planet, according to Google. Everyone has their own skill set, their own uniqueness, their own cultural identity, their own beliefs, their own religion, their own this, their own that. And what we see and experience perceptually is all different, okay? Objective viewpoints look at facts and look at logic. When you have logic, you have to understand that you have all the facts before you can formulate a real logical point of view. And there are people who have faulty logic because they're missing components in their process. So if you're missing information, in other words, you can't formulate the right logic. And that's what happens when you have too much of a subjective point of view, because you're missing things. So it seems like you're correct in your thinking, but it's because you're missing a bunch of stuff. You can't formulate the correct knowledge. And that's why you need to take a step back. You need to find a little bit more peace in your heart space first, and then you can realize that what you're looking for is right in front of you. But when you don't allow yourself that bird's eye view, and when, you know, there's something sort of clouding your mind's process, and that's all this heavy energy, right? So letting it go is what you need to do. Okay, thank you once again, and until next time.